10 months ago, I found the legend of ZZTop. And ZZTop is a player who's played Age of Empires at a pretty high level and picked Ethiopians, only didn't use the faster firing archers bonus at all, actually went for fast castle and had a really unique build order. Now, I'd completely forgotten about Zezy. Just kind of clicked in my brain recently. I was like, I need to double check. Is he still alive? Is he still playing? And he is. And so I wanted to show you, I wanted to see, is this player still going for this funky little build order, the fast castle on Arabia that we saw in the original video, The Legend of ZZTop? Now, folks, here we are. Now, you probably didn't watch or maybe don't remember The Legend of ZZTop. And if you wish to, please look at the in the description and go watch that ahead of time. Maybe that'll add some perspective. It was really interesting. But there's a couple key points that I remember about Zezy. I haven't seen this game yet, and I'm just going to say it right away because I'm starting to see movement. I remember extreme scouting with pigs and sheep, or whatever it may be. All over the map, Zezy looks and looks some more, and I'm already seeing the sheep going very far, so that's something Zezy did. I remember 4 or 5 on wood. I remember 1 on gold. I remember like 7 or 8 on berries. Like he would really max out on the berries at some point. And it was around 22 population click up to the feudal age. So these are things to remember. I mean, guys, still playing at a high rank, close to 1600 elo, still picking Ethiopians. This game happened yesterday. And I'm curious to see how this game plays out. Zezy's actually scouted with a villager as well. Seems like Zezy's in a big rush to find everything, even scouting with the vills. But yeah, Zezy's still doing this. And I have my theories, because I also remember that Zezy used to push in deer from really far away. So you have the original deer pack, and then there's also additional deer packs around if you find them. So anyways, we've got ZZTop, Ethiopians, okay? We'll see what happens here. Arabia, very open. Usually you see lots of aggression. Here in the red, we have Chep and Chip Joe. Chep and Chip Joe playing as the Vikings. Chep and Chip Joe is 5 elo below ZZTop here. So basically they are the same exact rank. Less than a win separates them. Vikings get wheelbarrow for free in feudal, handcart for free in castle, a good infantry archer civ. And so I could see something like man-at-arm archer, archer into skirm making a lot of sense against Ethiopians, because the Ethiopians... Whoa! Boar went through the vills. Sorry. That was weird. Yeah, typically the Ethiopians are going for archers, right? Now, what I could have done here, guys, is I could have, brought to you 4 or 5 games in a row. I could have even watched this game ahead of time. In fact, that's what I'd normally do, but I've got a bit of a time crunch because I'd be quite busy, and I really want solid videos for you guys. So I thought it might be fun to just kind of dive in and try and remember. I did get a bit of a refresher. I did look through my own video to see what Zezy was doing before. But, I recall it all came down to getting knights out fast enough to clear up the crazy pressure that would come in from the opponents. And oftentimes, because a knight is so strong against feudal age units, even if Zezy would lose a couple villagers, knights on an open map can just devastate. But it's kind of a crazy thing, because Zezy would, like a lot of the crazy players that come up with strategies on Arabia that are fast castle, it's like, usually you're taking a lot of damage. Now, here we go. Here we go. I said 8 or 9 on berries, right? So the thinking is, I believe, is you take all the berries as quickly as possible. Basically, when the opponent shows up with something, there shouldn't be berries left. That's what Zezy's thinking here. And actually, look at this. Look at the amount of villagers in queue at the bottom left. They're 19 pop right now. And it's going to be... Okay, 23 villagers in Dark Age, I guess, from Zezy. Zezy's pigs still scouting over here. Pigs still scouting over here. Crazy scouting for Dark Age. Drops off the wood, takes the deer. And yes, Zezy's going to go push in the other deer. The other game was 10 months ago. Dang. They were 1500 elo. Or I guess Zezy was 1500 elo 10 months ago. I don't know where red was. But let's get an update on red's situation. Red seems to be thinking about the Man-at-Arm Archer route to me. We've got some villagers headed over towards the gold. We've got the barracks about to complete. Did push in some of the deer next to the mill. Don't mind that. Usually you're going to want a mining camp now. It seems like red doesn't quite have the wood for it yet. And now red is super housed and really needs the militia right now. So, so it's going to drop the house. We've all been there. Definitely not the cleanest of executions I've ever seen over here, red side of things. The food count's going to be really high, but the wood and the gold's not exactly there. And Zezy's just staying at home, taking all the berries as quickly as possible, and 1 on freaking gold. That is what I remember. And saves the pigs. So the reason you can have 1 on gold is because the Ethiopians get plus 100 food and plus 100 gold when they make it to the next stage. So, essentially, instead of having like 2 or 3 on gold, you just have 1 and you can still get to that 200 gold point mark. Now, red shows up. Red's probably not used to this. At this rank, like, I think you're close to top 1,000 in the world if you're 1,600. This rank, you're not really used to showing up at a mill, seeing the berries are almost gone at this point, and seeing so many bills around. Zezy seems very interested. Is Zezy controlling this? Hello? Well, the militia killed the deer. Red is getting man-at-arms. Red's ready to be aggressive here. Let's see how our boy ZZTop can handle this. And food could be a concern. I mean, everything could really be a concern here. Because there might be a follow-up as well from red. Now, again, red's range timing, not immediate. But man-at-arm is in. Villagers are going to be very exposed here. And the only thing that Zezy really has to be able to fight this back is villagers. And is going to click all the villagers. There's 12 of them here. 1 goes down. Will the second one go down? Yes, the scout actually gets the final kill. 2 villagers go down there for ZZTop. So, if you're used to watching really high-level games, you're going to look at this and maybe say, okay, the execution wasn't perfect there. But that's good damage. Killing 2 vills with that attack. Vikings get wheelbarrow for free, so their eco should be pretty good. Archer follow-up. This is all standard. But Zezy is now finished with the berries. Builds the blacksmith in the stable, exactly like I remember, and has enough food, I guess, to get towards Castle Age here. And it's funny how much I remember. Like, look at this right now. So red is autopilot, assuming his opponent is going archers because his opponent is Ethiopians. That's what's so crazy. He's like, I'm going to make skirms because I saw a blacksmith, and that blacksmith must be to upgrade archers. Nope. Man, maybe I should make this guy more popular because if people are going to figure it out, it's pretty wild, man. Like I said, I kind of forgot about this player. This is such a crazy build order. Now, what I recall being really impressed with as well, as Zezy's even pushing in the final deer, it's just so unique. He's not scouting his opponent at all. He's just basically thinking, if anything it shows up, I'll just kill it with knights. But I recall he actually booms really well, right? He doesn't actually commit towards a lot of knights. The idea is the first couple knights do enough. And then Zezy will focus on the economy a bit more. A little bit of house walling around the gold. Pushing in that final deer. It's funny that Zezy does this. If you've watched Phosphor videos, Phosphor does this too. So a lot of these guys that are going for these crazy fast castle plays on Arabia are really trying to take advantage of the extra deer here. Which, like, no one else is really taking. But this guy, he hasn't even scouted his opponent yet. He doesn't really seem to care. He just needs to get that food income right. And there he goes. Shoots the deer, drops off the wood first, taking the food. And then what do you know? His opponent's here. Now, if he's another Civ and he's going fast Castle Knights at 15 minutes and 40 seconds, he's going to struggle to get the food and the gold to do everything that he really wants to do. Not a problem with Ethiopians, actually. Red's adding farms. Red has good eco upgrades. Red's sending more units forward. Red's denying the wood line. And Red's probably like, huh? A stable with Ethiopians? What? Keep in mind, Red didn't really scout his opponent all that well. The meta these days seems to be a lot of people are pushing deer and they're not scouting. Because everyone just kind of assumes that their opponent is going to do something based on their civilization. Everyone, even at the high level, they like to just assume they know what's up. Red loses this army. He loses the archer. He was going to lose the archer anyways. And so now Zezy is going to have some knights on the field. Has a lot of gold income, though. Whoa, this is messy stuff. Why can't I go to his point of view? I don't know what the plan is here, my friend. But you don't have a market. You need to sort it out. There's an archer. He's going to get the kill there. And, oh, wait a second. TC on stone. Hardy, can you investigate? Can you tell me, was it second TC on stone as well in those other videos? I'm pretty sure it was second TC on stone as the plan. Now, it was always wood and stone, which usually is what you're going to find. I seem to recall that was always the plan. And then it was third TC somewhere. Wow. Well, it did feel pretty natural for Zezy maybe to go here with that TC. Chose not to. And now the knights are here. Now, if you look at the resources collected just insane for Red, right? And Red's got really good balance. Red's got some pikes out on the field here. Or some spears in on the field. Vikings get extra HP on their infantry, so that would apply to the spears. But Zezy's able to outrun them a little bit. Snipes Seville. And is going to micro again here and snipes another villager at that. Beautiful. Sees that one is weak as well and gets even another vill, but the knights are trapped. Red now needs to click up to Castle Age and does so. We'll be in Castle Age in 2.5 minutes. So let's focus on Zezy. All right. Now, Ethiopians, since I focused on Zezy, they received a buff. Where their outposts no longer cost stone. Before, their outposts always had lots of vision. But I remember the outposts not costing stone change made, at least at the pro level, players a little more interested in doing it. But the extra vision is nice. And it's very interesting. So the opponent goes into early archers and skirms, thinking you're going to go archers. The knights deal with that. Then Zezy has a bit of initiative because the opponent's going to go spears to counter the knights, which surprised him. And then if the Ethiopian player gets Showtell warriors out, suddenly the Showtells are amazing counter, amazing raiding unit, but amazing counter then to the spearmen here. Wow, I'm fascinated. Okay, so what's the plan? Triple barracks here for Red. I think Red thinks, my archers all died. I need something more than just spears, because you can't really kill the opponent with just spearmen. So mixing in a longsword could make sense. Vikings have really good longswords. Zezy's going to snag relics, guys. Look for the relics on the map. Third TC's going on gold. So it is just fast castle, a couple knights, and then a boom. This is crazy. This is so unique. This game, this isn't like a relic of the past. This game happened either today or yesterday. I forget. I just downloaded it. Red had pretty solid uptime here. Like 22 minutes. Killed some villagers with man-at-arms. Went for the archer follow-up. Obviously, it didn't really work out. Red has a much bigger army right now. This build order, though, from Zezy, pretty awesome. And that knight just like, all right, guys, I see what you're up to. Good to know, good to know, good to know. Hope you don't mind as I take all the relics on the map. Zezy's just missing vision on that one. May end up seeing this one here soon. And really good management and really good micro with that knight, right? Like, the economy is pretty solid behind all this. And it's going to drop a castle at home, which will allow, for it adds some defense, of course, but then is there for production of Showtells. It just feels so calculated, guys. This is so cool. I forget how I found this player originally. This is something we really should appreciate. It's just like utilizing the bonuses, the extra resources to get up through the ages perfectly. Utilizing the power spike of the knights. But since Ethiopians don't necessarily have the best knights, not needing to commit to them for long term. Forcing the opponent into a counter to a unit you're not really going to make, which of course is the knight. And then, I don't know if we're going to see Showtails, but I mean, the Showtails, they have really high attack, so they could be seen as the superior version of infantry. I think, but even without Showtail warriors, it's kind of like, how is Red supposed to break this eco setup? This would be the vulnerable area, but the castle being between two TCs seems calculated enough to just ensure that this army can't break him. Because if I had to guess, I would say Red right now is thinking about a YOLO play to even take out this TC with longswords. Without a castle there, with only one knight, it would actually be doable. That is a lot of longswordsmen right there. And he's getting arson. That's what he wants to do. It does make me interested in if these guys played each other before, but I remember Zezy doing this exact thing. Castle next to the TCs, lots of eco. Here we go. Some longswords are going to go in for the monks. And now Red sees that castle. Monks get the conversions. Monks go into the castle now. Castle fire obviously is going to kill some of these longswords. And I think Red's kind of like, oh, okay, so I can't go destroy that TC with all my upgrades and arson now. Now what do I do? And Red's eco is pretty high on food and gold. Doesn't have a lot on woods, maybe expand more town centers. So you might just need to try and avoid this. ZZs could see this relic and could snag that relic. The other relic is in the back of the base here, if you're wondering. And ZZ's going to sell wood, buy food, sell wood, buy food, sell wood. Clicks wheelbarrow. And is thinking about imp. Now, I remember scorpions. I have this memory of scorpions from ZZ. Scorpions are pretty crazy with Torsen engines. Will he go scorpions? He clicks imp. Interesting. Interesting. Now, the downside of Showtails is their HP. So, you know, they're glass cannons, right? They do a lot of damage, but they could still be killed off pretty quickly. For a unit that only has 45 HP, it is fairly expensive, I would say. Anyways, looks like ZZ's going to block off part of the map here with some houses. If I'm trying to get into the mind of ZZ. Okay, so he's going to wall up and funnel things towards the middle here. Yeah, look at all these buildings here. This guy's really good strategic mind. Man, there's just certain players that are just so fun to watch. He's one of them. I got to make more videos on this guy. I mean, unless all you guys say this is boring as crap. Actually, no. If you guys said this is boring as crap, you don't have good taste, and I will prove you wrong. This is really unique, but I want to see how people deal with him in 2024. It was still 2023 when I found him last time, but I was thinking, yeah, you funnel all this pressure in, and then you maybe have a castle here. I don't know if ZZ's gotten to that point yet. That is an exposed town center. Red is gonna go for it. That TC's a goner, guys. Can you imagine if that was ZZTop's MTC? Whoa, way to go, Red. Sorry, Red, we're getting all excited here for ZZ all the time. Not respecting you for still having more resources collected. Still doing a really good job to find some damage there. Well played. And essentially is punishing ZZTop for not making army, right? You're not going to make army. You're just going to boom? Well, best of luck once my longswords come into your base. Don't tell me Red tries it again. That's a lot of idle eco for ZZ that ZZ's got to sort out. Oh, God. Oh, man. This is crazy. Chip Joe is chipping away. He's chipping and he's chipping away. TC needs to be repaired. I think my mouse just died. Oh, my God. Are you freaking... I didn't get an alert, guys. Someone said, switch to a wireless mouse. It's way better than a wired mouse. Now my mouse is dead in the middle of a freaking recording. Okay. Well, I can move around with the arrow keys. This is fun. What an interesting game. I'm the worst. Shotel Warriors are out and about. Here comes Red again. But wait. ZZ is raiding with the same 3 Shotel Warriors in the night. Actually got some decent damage. I'm so embarrassed. Please remember to like and subscribe. Please. I need it. Oh, God. I mean, listen, I've been there. Like, not in ZZ's exact situation, but if you lose town centers like that and your economy was relatively fragile, it takes a lot of effort to balance things. But ZZ does have 5 relics right now. And still continues to micro over here. Red's got to be so annoyed. Red needs the faster form of infantry. Red needs a castle and needs to make berserks. I think they're a little bit faster. Do I have my court? I mean, you might hear a noise. I got to plug my freaking mouse in. Might as well, right? Maybe I can have it back by the end of the game. I'm sorry. I think you heard that. This is unprofessional, but the show doesn't stop here. Shotel Warriors come in. Now, no upgrades have been researched for these Shotel Warriors, so I'm still wondering if this was the plan for ZZ. But Red is still struggling to keep up with these things. Mobility, so important, but Red still has collected more resources, even though ZZ has all 5 relics and has brought in over 1,000 gold with those relics. It's just wheelbarrow and handcart being in this whole time. It just affects the economy so nicely. And now Red is on the way to the Imperial Age. Yeah, I think Scorpions has to be the plan for ZZ. Torsen engine Scorpions makes a lot of sense. And the amount of monks is pretty crazy too. It's just going to heal up for now. Zoom level feels a little awkward. Red has only really seen Shotels. So Red's probably like, my opponent's going Shotels. I've got good infantry too. I think there's a lot of reason for Red to continue to make longswords. Red hasn't seen anything to indicate that they should try anything different. But if you were to combine anything with longswords, it'd probably be like trebuchets, maybe some onagers, or some archers. Vikings just don't have good cav, which of course is the same with Ethiopians. Vikings also struggle a little bit with siege. I think in terms of army options, and forgetting about the economy, the Ethiopians are probably better here, but here are the longswords. It's just ZZ's played very passive ever since gaining the lead, but is trying to fix that economy. Shotels and monks here to defend all the time. All the choke points are walled up or house walled and outposted. Really smart thinking here from ZZTop. This is a player who's just got a freaking plan, guys, and I appreciate that so much. It's such methodical play. ZZ doesn't really seem that fast as well. The multitasking's solid, but it doesn't seem that speedy. And we see our first Scorpion. Oh, please tell me we see Torsen engine Scorpions. Red knows what's up. Red knows technologies. It's a new tech right there at the top right of your screen. Devotion. Units will resist conversion. The Blues had a lot of monks, so that makes sense. Longswords would win this fight if they were all together. And we're going to see two-handed swordsman upgrade, as well as armor. All of this is going to be really helpful. ZZ doesn't have too many upgrades. There's our first Scorpion. Could get a pretty decent hit, actually. I think the waypoint was set behind it, and it just pathed this way. And how did that unit die? I wish I could rewind. I don't think Red has heresy. It was weird how that longsword died there. But we see Torsen engines, so that adds some splash damage to any siege, which of course would apply to the Scorpions, and we are going to see Torsen engine Scorpions. And he's got all relics, right? So at this point, you're just like, and I think this might explain why ZZ's so chill. It's just like, as long as I don't die, I win this game, because the relic golden come. Eventually, the opponent just runs out of gold. Oh, man. And guys, Scorpions is just, it's just not common at a high level at all. Bombard cannons are a little bit more common. Vikings don't have that. Ethiopians do. That also Torsen engines affects those too. Zezy's going to head over this way. I think Red sees this. I mean, this whole game, Red has been just chasing the faster units from Zezy. It must be so annoying. Oh, man. Quick wall, maybe? Quick wall! Quick wall! Quick wall! Okay, well, that is going to be a denied castle for the time being. Champion upgrades on the way. We're going to have fully upgraded champions, at least with the blacksmith and barracks upgrades, here for Red, which is no joke. I love how the show tells are being led by a knight. This knight understands the way of the raiding, right? Like, this feels like this knight probably trained everybody because of how effective he was earlier. And man, did they listen. Let me just go back to the champs. Now, it's interesting. The Scorpions they're not heavy Scorpions yet. So Red might look at this initially and be like, oh, okay, just regular Scorpions. But Torsen engines should affect things here. Monks also can get some conversions. You really need to get heavy Scorp, but nice defense there. All of Red's champions go down. And here Zezy's still running around like a madman. And is sitting on so many resources. Red has done a better job at spending resources this game. It's just the problem is, anytime Red shows up, he's running into some form of resistance. We have siege engineers for the extra range. We have heavy Scorpion now. Oh, baby. And Red's making pure infantry. No, Red. Back away for us, please. Yes, thank you, Red. Thank you, Red. Oh, this poor soul doesn't know he's going to be on YouTube. Please wait for the upgrades. Please wait for the upgrades. Oh, baby. Here we go. Go, 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 go. These champions have no chance. No chance. The bombard cannon splatted some of them. These are Viking champions, so they do have a lot more HP. But the show tells are in front. And Red just sent all of his units directly into the meat grinder. Guys, this feels like a fat slop game. If you ever watch those, it's like so masterful. He's like, Red's got the enemy exactly where he wants them. And the only way it feels realistic for Red to do damage is right through the middle. He's really taking his time as he builds up that death ball. He's going to queue up more Scorpions. All right, I'm going to get my mouse. I think I could probably get enough for the end of this video. I apologize again. That is so freaking pathetic of me. I thought the mouse... I got a new mouse recently, and I thought it notified me if it was low battery, but apparently not. I wonder if Zezy was checking this gold because he knows it's an extra one. There's Royal Heirs now. I think Red is like, okay, what else can I do here? And Red's going to go for stables and make Light Cav. Light Cav only costs food. Light Cav to snipe Scorpions can be an idea. Light Cav to raid can be an idea, only there's nowhere to really raid because everything's walled. And Viking Light Cav is some of the worst in the game. I think technically it's not the worst in the game, but it's close to it. Lacking Bloodlines means they're only at 60 HP, so they're just paper. And lacking armor as well means that they just receive so much more damage. Zezy just methodically creeping forward here with this death ball, which is pretty much exactly what I remember from this player 10 months ago. He's still doing it. And I guess, like, this level is really high level compared to the majority of people who've ever played this game. And even, like, you know, most of the active player base. There's not many people who are at 1600. However, I think there's enough people active where you don't run into the same people all the time, right? I only made one video about this individual. And I'm going to talk, if you run into this, you might want to know how you beat it. And there's no, like, magic sauce, but I'll talk about that near the end of this video. Here we go, a massive fight here. Oh my god, this is going to be crazy. Light Cav are in the mix now for Red. But where are the champions? Do you guys remember the champions? I don't remember the champion. Who? What? Everything dies. Everything melts to these Scorpions. Not even close. My mouse died? No, my mouse cursor's there. I lost it in the Scorpion fire. Okay. Real professional show here. Bombard cannons are ready to take out some buildings. These Scorpions have 60 kills here. And, well, Red, the best thing you could attempt here would be Onager to flatten the Scorpions. You need some siege. But obviously hard to think about that when you've already built up all these buildings and you're under pressure. When you're under pressure, you just think, I need more army now. Let's just make more army. Sometimes numbers matter, but not a Viking light cap. I love how Zezy has the long swords that he converted from the enemy in the raiding party now. The game ends, and ZZTop's still at it, guys. Still at it. I encourage you to maybe rewatch the old video in case you didn't watch that before or it's been too long. It seems like he's pretty much doing the same thing. Now, the same type of thing happened here that I remember in the other games, where the opponent, A, doesn't know what's coming. That's a big part of it. But B, isn't quite good enough in early feudal age to really punish it, right? Like this, Zezy will never be able to get to the super high level with this because players with better timings with the man-at-arms and the archers or whatever builder they have in feudal, whatever commitment they send their way, they're going to kill more than the two villagers Red did. That's basically the main thing. What you look back to here, if you're Red, is not any of the mid-game stuff. You actually look back to feudal age. It's a very exposed map. Yes, it's a cool build order from Blue. But the timing where you could punish this is essentially between feudal age, which is like that 10-minute mark. So from here to before he's in castle age, that is when you have to kill this guy. But what's cool is he protects his wood enough. He protects his gold enough, right? And you really need to make sure you have a decent amount of army because a couple knights are going to clear up a lot of feudal age army. So it's why he maybe falls into the sweet spot of this particular rank. Probably can't reach, the top 500 or in the world or something like that, but still able to beat the majority of players because it's really hard to get that damage in so quickly. And he still reaches castle age at an amazing time. But what I love about this is we found a player who doesn't play with archers with the Ethiopians, which is wild. Everyone, and that's probably part of it, is going to just assume that Ethiopians is going to go archers. He gets the relics. He goes for the siege. He goes for the scorpions. And it's just a really unique, fun player. It doesn't seem like he's that fast. APM says that both in eco and military, Red is faster. But it's just methodical. It's well thought out. And it is a really cool strategy here from Blue. So, YouTube, I apologize that my freaking mouse died and that some things went wrong in this, but I hope you enjoyed this cast. Please let me know if you want to see more of Zezy in the comments or what your favorite part of the strategy is. But this is what the game's all about, man. Deceptive strategy, unique strategy, good timings. Like Age of Empires 2 is a beautiful game when it comes to time windows. You have opportunities with one particular unit, let's say, and then that window shuts because your unit is weak or your civilization is not good in that particular area. And it feels like Zezy just chose the right moments, chose the right windows, knew which windows to open, which windows to shut, and did a great job utilizing every single unit there. So this was just the most recent game from the guy. There's probably more, and maybe we could find instances where people know what he's up to and find different ways to counter it and maybe send all sorts of pressure to him. But that's it for me, guys. I'm off to charge my mouse. Thanks for the love and support, and I'll see you all in the next video.